Guys, I just know everybody in the league is sick.
You know what's absolutely insane? ESPN literally posted that the Lynx had dominated the Fever to win the Commissioner's Cup during the actual game. I'm not even joking. They left it up the entire time and only changed it after the Fever actually won. Talk about egg on your face. That's like announcing the winner of a race while they're still running. Except the person you picked face-planted at the finish line. But that embarrassing ESPN blunder perfectly captures what just happened. Nobody, and I mean nobody, saw this coming. Before we dive into this absolute madness, hit that like button if you're ready for some championship-level content. Trust me, what you're about to hear will blow your mind. Let me break down why this Commissioner's Cup victory is sending shockwaves through the entire WNBA and why Caitlin Clark's haters are having an absolute meltdown right now. And I mean a meltdown. We're talking ice cream in the summer sun levels of melting here. Picture this. Caitlin's been out with a groin injury. The Fever were 10.5-point underdogs. That's like saying a house cat is going to beat a lion in a fight. They're playing in Minnesota against the league's best team, in front of a hostile crowd. The Lynx were 14-2, practically unstoppable. Vegas had already counted the Fever out. The pregame shows were basically planning the Lynx celebration party, and what happens? The Fever absolutely demolished the Lynx 74-59 without their superstar. On the road, in a championship game. It's like watching your little brother beat you at basketball when you're trying your hardest. Except this time, little brother is wearing a blindfold and still winning. The haters thought they finally had their moment. They were practically celebrating. See? The Fever can't win without Caitlin, she's overrated. Diana Taurasi was right about reality coming. But then, reality hit them like a Natasha Howard defensive stop. And let me tell you, that woman was playing like she had a force field around the basket. The Fever didn't just win. They held the Lynx to their worst offensive performance of the season. They went on an 18-0 run in the second quarter. 18-0. That's not a run, that's a full marathon. They turned a 13-point deficit into complete domination. The Lynx scored 59 points total. That's barely more than what some teams score in a half. Minnesota was shooting like they were wearing oven mitts. 4 of 16 from three-point range? My grandmother could shoot better than that, and she thinks basketball is played with a tennis ball. And here's where it gets really juicy. Juicier than a perfectly ripe watermelon at a summer picnic. Remember how WNBA players just voted Caitlin as the 9th best guard for the All-Star game? 9th! That's like saying chocolate is the 9th best ice cream flavor. It's objectively wrong and everybody knows it. Meanwhile, she got over 1.3 million fan votes. The most in WNBA history. She literally broke her own record from last year. The fans have spoken louder than a referee's whistle, but her fellow players? They ranked her behind players who can't even sniff her impact on the game. Dick Vitale absolutely went off about this, calling it absurd and pointing out the obvious. These players love the charter flights. No more cramped commercial flights with crying babies. The increased salaries, we're talking real money now, not pocket change. The sold-out crowds, remember when WNBA games looked like library reading sessions? And the TV ratings that Caitlin brought, but they can't stand giving her credit. It's like enjoying a 5-star meal but refusing to compliment the chef. Michelle Tafoya didn't hold back either, straight up calling it jealousy and saying, the players can't stand her. She went full truth-teller mode, and honestly, someone needed to say it. You want to know how petty this is getting? The same players celebrating Angel Reese's unrivaled championship, where she didn't even play in the final or show up to the building, are now saying Caitlin's Commissioner's Cup doesn't count because she missed the final game with injury. The mental gymnastics are Olympic level. If mental gymnastics was an Olympic sport, these haters would sweep the gold, silver, and bronze medals. But let's talk about what actually happened in this game, because it was pure poetry in motion. Natasha Howard turned into the Incredible Hulk, except instead of getting angry, she just got better. 16 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and she locked down Nafisa Collier like she had her in basketball jail. The MVP trophy? Unanimous decision. Not a single vote against her. That's dominance. Aaliyah Boston was out there looking like a young Tim Duncan. Fundamentally sound, impossibly smooth, just destroying people with basic basketball. 12 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. Those aren't just numbers, those are I'm here to win statements. And Sophie Cunningham, 13 points of pure hustle. She was diving for loose balls like they were $100 bills scattered on the court. Kelsey Mitchell kept her double-digit scoring streak alive, 17 games and counting. That's consistency you can set your watch to. But wait, it gets even more ridiculous. Cheryl Reeve, the same coach who many believe kept Caitlin off the Olympic team, is now going to coach her All-Star team. Fans are absolutely losing it. One commented, "Great, we get CC hater Cheryl Reeve, the same coach too stupid to put her on the Olympic team." Another said, "No one wants to see Cheryl Reeve run Caitlin Clark in a motion offense." The irony is thicker than a milkshake. Here's what's really burning the haters though. Cooper Flagg, the NBA's #1 draft pick, just put Caitlin on his WNBA Mount Rushmore. This kid could have played it safe, given political answers, but nope. He said she's already earned that spot because of her impact on women's basketball. This is a guy who just got drafted first overall, the future of the NBA, saying a second-year player belongs with the all-time greats. That's the kind of respect Caitlin gets from outside the WNBA bubble. The timing of this Commissioner's Cup win couldn't be more perfect. It's like ordering pizza and having it arrive exactly when you're hungriest. See, the haters had a 3-part plan. First, they thought Caitlin's injuries would derail her season. She's already missed 10 games. That's almost a third of the season. Second, they tried to diminish her with that insulting all-star voting. Third, they kept pushing the narrative that she hadn't won anything. But this win changes everything. Let me explain why this is a game changer in 3 massive ways. First, it proves this Fever team is legit championship material. They beat the Liberty when nobody thought they could. That was like David beating Goliath, except David had better handles. They beat the Lynx in their own building with fans who probably needed Jeeps to find their seats because half of them were Fever fans who traveled from Indiana. This isn't just Caitlin's team anymore. It's a championship-caliber squad that's deeper than a philosophy major's thesis. Second, it gives Caitlin more time to heal properly. There's been speculation all season that the Fever rushed her back from injuries. Now, they can afford to be patient. They can let her heal like a fine wine aging in a cellar. They've proven they can win without her, which means when she comes back at 100%, it's going to be like adding a turbo engine to a Ferrari. Third, and this is the big one, it completely destroys the Caitlin can't win narrative. The only thing separating her from being unanimous was the lack of a championship. Now she has one. Sure, the haters are trying to say it doesn't count, but everybody knows that's just salt. Enough salt to season a year's worth of popcorn at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Want to know what's really eating at them? The money. Each Fever player just got a chunk of that $500,000 prize pool. That's not chump change, that's upgrade your car money. The franchise raised $23,000 for charity. The team's confidence is through the roof, so high they need air traffic control clearance. But here's my favorite part about this whole situation. Stephanie White, the Fever coach, took off her Caitlin Clark signature Nike shoes before entering the champagne-soaked locker room. That's respect. That's knowing those shoes are about to be worth more than a small car on the resale market. The celebration was epic too. Sydney Colson got absolutely drenched in champagne. Caitlin was leading the charge, spraying bottles like she was putting out a fire. This team wasn't just happy. They were "we just proved everyone wrong" ecstatic. You know what the best part is? This Fever team is built different now. They've got that championship DNA. They've tasted victory against the best teams in the league. They've proven they can win ugly, win pretty, win without their superstar. That's dangerous. That's league on notice dangerous. And when Caitlin comes back, oh boy, imagine adding the league's best playmaker to a team that just won a championship without her. It's like adding hot sauce to an already spicy dish. It just takes it to another level. The WNBA old guard better buckle up, because the revolution they tried to stop, it's already here. The Fever are Commissioner's Cup champions. Caitlin Clark is an all-star captain with the most votes in history, and no amount of player voting manipulation or cheap shots can change that. This is bigger than basketball. This is about a changing of the guard. This is about a new era. And whether the old heads like it or not, the future is here, and it's wearing number 22. Drop a trophy emoji if you're ready to watch this team shock the world again when Caitlin returns. Because trust me, what we just witnessed, that was just the appetizer. The main course is coming, and the haters aren't going to like the taste of it one bit. Like and subscribe if you want to follow this incredible journey, because the Fever's championship run is just getting started, and you don't want to miss what happens next. Hit that notification bell too, because when Caitlin comes back, it's going to be must-see TV. Until next time, keep that Fever fire burning. Peace.